Photon fizz, please.
Sure, bub. Whatever you want. Beep, 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 beep.
And before we roll out, I think it would be a good thing to have some kind of preliminary data on Mika as a cross-check against what Clayson said.
Okay.
Just, kind of cursory, if I can find anything on the computer that we've got down in the basement. General inquiry. I'm going to Google somebody's name is basically what I'm going to do.
Google a name. Frugal and Impoogle. What do we call it?
Impoogle.
whatever the Empire's equivalent to Google is in this world, because it would have to be controlled by the Empire, of course.
Yes.
The only way it works. Okay, so you guys are planning what next?
So we all woke up. We had a nice hearty breakfast. Kurt apparently had a nightcap before going to bed, which we didn't realize. More than likely. And then
be careful of him drinking your profits.
Exactly. So I think Kurt's going to try and get some intel on our target right before we head out, and then we're going to head out.
Also look at the news. Is there anything?
Phil's going to look at the news.
No major developments overnight, because it would have been right about nighttime. No major developments. The best you can tell is that there was a very, very large attack that seemed to be centered on the main spaceport, planetary kind of landing spot of Geller City, the capital city. And then a couple of other ancillary sites were hit as well. They still haven't named what those sites are. Just that there were two other sites in the city that also got hit. They weren't nearly as big. Most of the media coverage is focused on the station there in Geller, the big station. And it's one of the classic, the media is still kind of frothing at the mouth over it. The details are all over the place. Death tolls are changing like by the minute. But it's pretty catastrophic. I hate to use the example, but it's a very 9/11 feel to it for how big of an event this is. Mm-hmm. And they're still trying to make heads or tails of everything.
Got it.
There's not much talk about the explosion on the station. Most of the media, of course, isn't so much focused on that. So there's not a ton of talk about the station. And there's no real kind of local news, like, this was the, nightly news covering the system, and then like your local weather guy. There's not really much of that. So it's not so odd to you that they're not talking about it. It really does seem like everybody's kind of frothing at the mouth over the big one in Geller City. Alex, I hate to use the example, but if you recall when 9/11 happened, there was a crap ton of talk about the city, but only kind of ancillary talk about the Pentagon and some of the other sites.
Right.
Imagine that's what's going on here. Is everybody's really focused on the big site, and the other ones are kind of not getting as much attention. So that's what's going on.
All right. Good. One thing we should check. Just a suspicion I have. We should try and see if we can find the traffic from the Malibor system, or to the Malibor system from Bastel 2. There may be a connection there. Something for later, perhaps.
Traffic how? I guess I'm curious what you're...
Like, chart flight traffic between the two systems.
I gotcha. Okay. Kurt, if you do some background information on Mika over the course of the morning, if you just spend like a couple of hours while everybody's getting ready or eating or that sort of thing, you don't get a ton of information. You can access. This is not the smartest, most powerful system you're using if you're just using the one that they had. So really, you're doing the equivalent of Google of this. You can. He's easy enough to pick up as just as a name and a face on there, because he's in the electricians guild. Everything that Clayson told you is about all you're going to be able to get as well, which is low grade technician. You're getting the equivalent of LinkedIn from him. Basic information, basic kind of large projects that he worked on in the past. no real glaring reviews from anybody, no giant outstanding this, that, or the other. Just seems like a nameless, faceless electrician. If you guys had not run across him in any way, shape, or form, he never would have blinked twice if you passed him on the street or ran across his resume or anything like that. He would have never stuck out to you except for the fact that he is somehow linked or apparently the killer of Helgin. So in every other way, shape, or form, as far as you can find, he is an average Joe citizen. So there's no listing of where he lives. That's must have been something dug out of a deeper archive, like out of the actual guild roster, guild roles. So that's not like public knowledge, just like your address wouldn't be on Google, like very easily found, unless you put it on there specifically. So yeah, but what you've been given is good enough directions. You've been given a rough. He lives in this sector, in this apartment complex or hab unit.
Okay.
All right.
So can I bring up imp maps and just get a general feel of the route that we have to take to get there?
in Google Maps.
In Google Maps. That's all right.
Yeah, it's pretty much what Clayson said. It's a few sectors away, a few blocks, give or take, a few airlocks away from Helgin's. Close enough to walk there within, say, 10 minutes.
Okay.
If you were to go back and forth from work, as an example. It's definitely a slightly better neighborhood than Helgin's was. Not as many kind of street stalls from what you can tell from your satellite view, your street view. It seems like a pretty ordinary looking street, with your ordinary corner bar or corner pub and et cetera, et cetera. So,
Okay.
All right. Shall we?
Let me dig out my notes from a couple weeks ago.
I think we're good to go.
Shall we proceed and give our friend a visit?
Yeah.
Sure.
Stashik, why don't you hang back a little bit? You might be a little recognizable, no? And intimidating. Yes. I'm gonna try and
Why?
get
Thank
him
you.
to
That's
open his door.
that's quite the compliment. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on, I'm looking through my sheets right quick to get to the right file. All right, where are you at? That would be. Hold on, it's been a few weeks. I know I wrote that down a few weeks ago. I was actually expecting you guys to go there a couple weeks ago, but y'all didn't make it that way. Y'all took a meandering path to get here. All right, let's see. Map, session 3. Crap. Oh, here we go. Let me bring this over on the big screen so I can read it. All right, blah, 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 blah. Helgins, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I put all these together just because they're linked together. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, crap, where's this at? Oh, I almost found it. All the cartridges, blah, 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 blah. It's frightening how much of this stuff is here. I should probably not write this much bullet points. Okay. So, your plan is to go straight to his hab unit, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to his. I want to bring a box with me.
Okay. Any particular box?
Just an empty box.
Okay, doke. Easy enough. What's in the box? What's in the box?
You'll find out.
I don't know if I want to know. Y'all did have a loose head at one
I
point.
farted in the box. Before.
Oh, y'all did have a loose head at one point. I'm just,
That's true.
let's see. Okay, so standard kind of hab unit. It's not like apartment complexes you see around here. It's more akin to the place you now not own, but sort of lodge at. So it's not connected to a bar. This one isn't specifically, but it's close enough to a bar that you probably expect a lot of people from the surrounding area go there. Sort of like the Hardway. But it has a rough entrance to the place. There's a door marked like superintendent, owner, and then it's just a hallway, staircase. It feels like it's the inside of an old ship. A lot of this does.
Okay.
So that sort of thing. So imagine it's a ship hallway is what you've gotten into, and these are small suites, small little apartments off of the ship hallway. So when you go in, it's easy enough to find the one that Clayson gave you, and I didn't write that down specifically, but you can walk to that door if that makes sense.
And Slashik is waiting around the corner.
I figure, I'm hanging back a little bit, like down the
he
hall.
he can be down the hall.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to be too far where I'm like out of
looking
earshot.
Casual.
Yeah,
right.
I just want to.
Looking
cash.
Looking cash, blocking the entire hallway. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just checking the edge on my axe. No big deal.
All right, so I'm gonna knock on his door or buzz his door.
No response.
Delivery. Loading guild delivery. knock. Certified delivery.
Yeah.
You need your Star Wars signature.
No reply. How loud are you being?
I'm being pretty insistent.
Okay, so you are being loud enough. All right. Okay, yeah, you got heard. Somebody down the hall opens the door. Let's give it a 50-50 chance here of which direction it is. It's a door next to you, Slashik, opens up. They see you and duck back inside. You continue banging on the door.
What kind of door is this? Is it like a
it's like an interior door? It's like a spaceship door.
Like huge heavy sliding metal door, or is it like
flimsy metal sliding door?
It would be like the ones you have in your bar. They're not meant to like stand up. They're not defensive doors.
Right.
Interior space shuttle. They're soundproof-esque. If you're loud enough on them, you can get through them. But you could probably blast through one without much trouble.
Kurt, do you think you could hack this terminal? Hack the door terminal?
I'll give it
slice.
a try.
Slice. I don't know what hacking is. Slice. Can you slice it?
Actually, I'm gonna come over there with my axe. Did someone say hack?
No, slicing. Go back. Who are you? I don't even.
Is there like a door like open button or something? Let's just see if it's unlocked and.
Yeah, there would be a little door panel to the side. No, it's not unlocked. It's a nice try though. I do like your opportunity. Somebody slice this. Hold on, let me work on this. Beep. Hey, look at that. Opened right up, just like that other door.
I'll
give
it a shot.
It's going to be a hard computer roll, I guess.
I'm going to help him.
Hard. Yeah, push that button. No, that one.
You're doing a great job.
Do you need another shoulder massage?
That's how I always picture the unskilled boost. You're just like cheering them on, like, do you need some water?
There's probably somebody eventually going to listen to this saying, "You can't do that. You can't let them boost unless they have some kind of help." But I don't care.
That's totally legit.
Yeah. So yeah, fire away.
Kurt?
Okay, I got. Oh wow, this is cool. 2 successes and 1 triumph.
The door opens. Nobody notices that you've done this. There's no alarms go off. It just opens as if you own the place.
All right, I'm just gonna drop that box inside the door and pull my blaster and step in.
Everybody doing the same, or Is
Yeah,
Slashik still down the hall?
give Slashik a tick of the head to. Come on.
All right.
It was like
I'm
you're
coming in.
coming in
too.
breaking protocol here. You went in first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay out in the hall.
Oh,
But I'm not gonna draw on my blaster, but I'm just gonna kind of cover the rear until I get the okay to come in.
okay.
All right.
When you get inside, the place has been ransacked. Classic Hollywood ransacking. Crap is everywhere. Drawers have been opened. Tables and stuff overturned. Somebody has gone through everything. Give me whoever went inside.
Me and Oscillate.
If all of you are going inside eventually, then you're all welcome to this roll.
All right.
It's a hard perception roll, please.
Is hard 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm failing that
Alrighty.
with a threat.
One threat.
Oh God, we really don't need any more threats between you and Kurt or me. Actually, I've been doing just a grand old job doing that too. All right. Well, this is not great. I have.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm failing that with an advantage. Misread that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 1 success and 2 threat.
Okay. Kurt, were you going to step in as well?
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying that eventually everybody goes in, yes.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not, I mean, you're going to have to look as well. Well, you guys are kind of scanning this wreckage as you're walking in, so that's what this roll is for.
So I got a success and two threats.
Okay, so the 2 people who made theirs, something seems odd about this ransacking. You can't quite put your finger on it, but and that's really all the threat's going to give right now. You can't quite put your finger on what seems odd, but something seems odd. For the 2 of you that made the roll, take your number of successes that you made in this and add those as boost dice to a hard streetwise roll. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Hard streetwise.
And if you did not make it, you don't get to roll because you're just this place is a mess.
We really could have used you, Oscar.
Yeah, that streetwise roll. That's my.
I guess I'll
thing.
add my 1 freaking boost to this terrible roll of a million.
It's only 3 die hard.
Oh yes. Okay, I got 2 success and 3 threat.
Oh.
I know there's threat, but I'm just so excited I actually
made it. All right, Kurt.
So I got a success and 2 advantage.
What is going on? This is crazy.
The team slowly working together. Somehow their streetwise is better than yours.
I don't even understand that. That is stupid. Okay.
That's so funny. Okay, so the 2 of you notice that the ransacking, you already noticed that it doesn't seem right. And now something sticks in your head as what doesn't seem right about it. There's 1 chair doesn't look like it's moved. Doesn't look like it's been tipped or slid to the side. Still looks like it's sitting where you would have expected the chair to be sitting. I don't know how this makes sense, but like how I'll describe this is if I were to come into your house and look in your living room and it's been ransacked, I would probably notice if there was a chair that didn't have like 2 or like if you move a chair, there's indentions where the feet sit in the carpet. Like that's what your guys have clicked on. It's like something's not right, and then you're like, oh wait a minute, that chair hasn't moved. You know, I don't see where it's been shifted at all. So that's what you guys are catching on to. Who had the threat and how many did you have?
I had 3 threat.
And did you have any, Kurt, or was yours all advantage?
Boosts or advantages.
I had 2 advantage. No threats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you notice that there's let me make sure I read it here. Blah 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 blah. You notice that there's crap all over the top of the chair, but it's still it hasn't moved. It's obvious that stuff has like leaned and fallen into it, like a chest of drawers sort of thing has been tipped over, and fallen into it, but it hasn't moved. So that sticks in your head as, wow, this thing has not moved at all. This chair hasn't. Slashik, you're like, wow, that chair hasn't moved at all, and you kind of drift off. Like you'll mention it, the chair looks like it hasn't moved, and then you drift off to some of the other things. There's a collection of, to your eye, look like antique swords on the wall, like fancy swords. So you drift away. He's a geek with a sword collection, is what I'm telling you. Out of character. In character, like ooh, and you drift over to those. So you make a note of it, and then your short attention span wanders you away.
Okay, good. I'm going to go wander over to that. I'm going to check that sword collection. I'm just going to check and see if there's anything strange about it.
I'm gonna go head over to that chair, and I'm gonna do a up close inspection of the chair, because I'm thinking this thing is bolted to the floor. I'm thinking it's attached to something.
You find exactly that it is bolted down to the floor. You start running your hands around, like you basically get down on your hands and knees. You're like, man, this thing is bolted to the floor. This is really weird. So when you start running with it, you catch a wire. Like your hand catches what feels like an electrical wire. That makes sense. Like you feel like there's a wire running up the back of one of the legs.
Okay.
So you follow it. It's Mr. Engineer. You follow this to a point underneath the chair, and when you get there, click. Your hand hits what feels like a switch. As soon as you do this, you're buried underneath this, and we'll get Phil involved. Phil, a panel on the wall next to you opens up, shoop, like slides to the side. All right. Of course, Kurt, woo, look what I found. There's a pile of hollow recording chips inside discs, similar to the ones that you guys have been finding everywhere, that you found at Hardways, that you found at Helgin's. These are similar discs.
All right, well, I'm gonna scoop those up.
Do you guys think that's rather odd that this whole place was ransacked and those discs are still here?
It's possible that they didn't find the discs.
Not that I'm doubting Kurt's deductive and engineering skills, but did this not seem kind of like an obvious trap or secret panel that anyone could have found? I mean, I know that we really got lucky with that. I mean, we were.
You kind of did get lucky.
Yeah, maybe it's just us getting really lucky, but that chair just looked mighty obvious, and feeling a wire.
I didn't think so.
Kurt,
What are you trying to say?
Never mind.
He's saying we only found it because they wanted us to find it.
Yes.
I'm obviously overthinking this. Okay, so we got
You're
some
not giving
discs.
yourself enough credit.
I think I am trying to. I think that it's very, very peculiar. I think this is very peculiar, guys. That if this entire house this entire apartment is clearly ransacked, why on earth would these data disks still be here? Unless they were meant to be found.
It's possible they didn't find them.
Again,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna start looking around. I'm trying to learn anything I can learn about Harlow.
Okay. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna see if these swords have any combat value, or if not, maybe antique value. I might take them back to the bar and try and sell them later.
That's funny. Let's let you roll on it. Why not? Do you have D10 with you, or do you have 2 D10s?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Do you have
D10.
2 D10s? Or can you do percentile dice?
Well, I can do 2 D10s, and then you can tell me what to do with that.
Oh, so roll 1, and that'll be your high, like your 10s, and then you roll a second one, that'll be your 1. So if you roll like an 8 and then a 5, it's 85. For
okay, gotcha. Yep. All right, roll the first D10.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll 2. Okay, and now you roll.
All right, I got an 8 and a 4. 84.
One of them looks well made. To your eye. You're not a jeweler or anything, but one of them does look better than the others, than the other 2. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
You're not a connoisseur
Yeah.
of these, but it is an unfamiliar shape to you. It's not like sword shaped, your classic kind of sort of thing. It looks like it might be of some alien design.
Well, I'm definitely gonna take that one for sure, and maybe
Yeah.
inspect it some more while Phil's doing his examination
Right.
of the room.
The other two just look like kind of costume ones, like the wall hanger types that you might find anywhere.
Sure.
Is this just a single room, or are there multiple rooms?
It's very much an efficiency, so it's a room
Like a
with
studio.
so room with a bathroom and the kitchenette, all
Okay.
connected. So think of it as like the downstairs area of your now bar, but minus the two rooms. So just
Gotcha.
that kind of first room you came into is about what it is. So he's got a little crappy bed, probably a couple crappy chairs, but better than what Helgin had.
So I guess I'm gonna do
Okay.
the same thing Phil's doing. I'm just gonna start looking around for.
You notice a couple things that very obviously a geek, that his computer, the terminal in his that's kind of built into this place, has been destroyed completely. It almost looks like it took the brunt of something, like somebody purposefully went through it and hammered it. And you also notice one strange thing. There looks like at least some point in this person's future, a female was involved. There's the sign of female presence having been there, clothing, that sort of thing. So a female was at least at some point a visitor of this place, of this apartment.
Okay.
Is there anything peculiar about the clothing?
No, just that it's of a feminine cut.
All right.
Not sure how much else we're gonna get here.
You guys are playing detectives now.
I think we should keep looking around more. I want something. We need a lead from this. We can't just let him slip through our fingers. I'm actually going to. I'm going to try to talk to some of his neighbors, see what happened.
Good.
I'm gonna go to that door that opened before, and knock on it.
You hear, "I'm not involved. I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved. Leave me alone."
I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to find out what happened here.
What happened where? Nothing happened anywhere. They're yelling through the door. They're not opening the door.
Yes,
they saw
yeah,
a 7-foot lizard right
Yeah.
standing out front when they opened the last time.
All right. I am going to listen. If you don't tell me what's going on, I'll have that 7-foot lizard bust down this door and make you tell me. And
I'm calling
in
the
case
cops.
it's not clear, I'm using I'm trying to coerce him, and I'm gonna use my intimidation.
I'm calling the cops.
The cops
I
are
don't
our
know.
friends. We work for the cops.
A likely story. Boop, 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 boop. I'm calling right now.
Do you want me to really try and bust down the door and stop this? I don't know if I can, but I could try. I can make a really loud sound on the door, I'm sure.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question out of character.
Mhm.
Where would you guys go if y'all wanted information on a local person? What might be the hub of information of a local area?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Jake?
Me? Like, I hope it's not the
Is
library.
there a library?
again.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, all right, forget it. All right, we're walking away from that door. I think he's gonna be any help to me, I guess. I do want to look around in this room a little more before we leave, because I feel like we might be missing something. but I can't really think of anywhere else to look. So I guess that's not really gonna happen.
No, yeah, you're not going to find anything.
Is there
else
anything
here.
of value?
And there it is, guys. There it is.
That's what he's really looking around for. He's like, hold on, I
There
think
it is.
take one more look. I think this DVD player might be worth something. I'm going to say no. Actually, it's strangely odd to you that there isn't anything of apparent value. If you dug around a bit more, you would notice that there are some empty hangars. I don't know if they use hangars in the Star Wars universe, but the closet looks to be missing more clothes than one would be wearing on their back. The dressers are more empty than you would expect them to be if somebody was living there. Drawing any conclusions from this?
Yeah, these.
Do you need me to spell one
town.
out for?
I'm pretty sure he skipped town, and again, this is just fueling the fire in the rage in Slashik's heart. He is so tired of cold leads. He's so tired of being one step behind everything.
This one isn't necessarily cold. I'll give you the hint. I'm really surprised at you guys. You go to your local bar.
Yeah. I was gonna go to the bar.
You own a bar. Like
I was gonna go to the bar after this. Yeah. I mean, I was being facetious.
Well, I was waiting for everybody else. I figured Phil got
Yeah.
it. I was like, come on, everybody.
Okay.
I mentioned there's a bar in the area.
Yeah.
Not
I just
unlike Hardway.
wanted to make sure. We've been known to miss things in the past. Tired
It's
of
like
that.
The one place
So-
I put like, oh, there's only two things here. They'll put 2 and 2 together. Pretty quickly. They're like 2 plus 2 equals 17.
All right.
Well, let's play that
Let's
out.
ask
Slashik-
around. I think
Slashik is going to pound his fist into the wall and say, "We missed him." Just really.
it's too bad. You guys want a drink?
No, I don't want to drink. What good would that get me? Kurt,
I'm
stop smiling.
kidding. We should ask around the bar.
Oh, let's go to the bar.
Yay!
All right.
I'm taking the sword. I'm taking the sword. Does anyone have a problem with that?
No, I've never had a problem before.
I wasn't actually asking you, Osculator. We all know how good you are at taking things that don't
Listen.
belong to you.
Come on.
Oh, that's
All right,
funny.
let's go. All right, let's go to the bar.
Okay, so down the not very far away, outside of this building or this hab unit, is a bar called the Converter Lounge. It's not unlike Hardway's, just a simple. Doesn't have the extension of a
No dungeon.
yeah. Well, as far as you know, but no sleeping area. There's no. It's not big enough. At least the building that you see is not big enough to contain those sleeping arrangements and areas that you guys have in Hardway. But otherwise, it's a normal bar. You guys are getting there fairly early in the morning. Call it just before lunch, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So not really crowded. There's a few kind of boozies in there, drinking and laughing it up, watching the news, but not really paying attention to the news, if that makes sense. Spending more time staring at the bottom of their glasses. But otherwise, a normal-looking bar.
All right. I'm gonna go up to the counter and order a drink, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of drinks exist in the Star Wars universe.
Blue drink.
Photon fizz, please.
What are you, 12? I'm just kidding. That's great.
Awesome.
He looks at you sideways for a second. Sure, bub. Whatever you want. He starts making whatever a photon fizz is.
I'll take a virgin photon fizz.
He's like, I didn't even think that was possible. Okay. He pulls a book down from the back of the bar and goes through it to see if he can find the correct recipe for that one. And,
Hey, friend. Have you happened to see? We're looking for an old friend of ours, Mika Harlow. You haven't seen him around, have you?
Not in the past couple of days, no. Normally he'd come in here at least once or twice a week, but it's probably been his normal stopping day. He hasn't been in here now that you mention it.
Oh, that's odd.
Y'all friends of his from the guild, I take it?
Oh, we go way back.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
been a
know he had very many friends, really.
well, we haven't been in touch, but with everything that's happening, just wanted to, you know, renew those old connections. You know the
I
feeling?
got you. Yeah, I got you. No, he hadn't been in here in a while. And there's a good chance he's probably shacked up with that lady he's been seeing here lately. That'd be my guess.
Oh, do you know if we? Do you know where we could find her?
He said, I'm not really sure what her name is, but he said she lived over in, I'm going to make up a sector and I don't know the name of one. Just actually, I'm not going to use one since I don't have it right in front of me. A couple sectors over. He said the same thing. She lives like, I don't know, 4 or 5 units that way, towards the center of the station. So call it a 20-minute walk from where you guys are at now to her area, to that unit area. He doesn't know what number, just that she's in that area. Yeah, that's the only thing I can guess. If he hasn't been in the last couple days and y'all haven't seen him, then he must be shacked up with her. But that would be my guess. He says as he pours a drink.
Oscillate, you.
Oh, yes.
Apparently, he was really involved in that photon fizz.
This is excellent, excellent photon fizz. um,
Can you describe what she looks like for us, so we can ask around to try to find her?
I didn't really write that down, to be perfectly honest with you. Sure, tall, blonde. Actually, that would be funny. I'm
oh,
not gonna
Harlow.
do that. I was actually about
That
to
was
say,
his type.
I was actually about to say tall, blonde, and the description sounds strikingly familiar to someone you might have seen. No, I'm not gonna do that. That would be hilarious.
I was kind of hoping for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll always be.
You're waiting for her to
Hoping.
show back up.
Yeah.
I've got her noted. But I'm not going to do that. Blonde, average looking. I mean, I don't know. I didn't pay that close attention. She only came in here like once. But
So she's human.
yeah, she's human. Yeah, human. Why wouldn't she be? He's not that kind of weirdo.
I'm just gonna,
Oh, we're in the redneck
do a little
part.
side eye for that one.
We're in the redneck part of town now.
Why would a human ever want to be with your kind?
Okay, so I think that's all the information I need.
Yeah, he pointed you towards another sector, rough hab unit idea.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish my drink, pay and tip well, and head out. I guess I should. How much do you think that would be?
That's like probably two
credits.
Give it like
two.
one. Give it like 1 credit. I mean,
Okay, all right.
you didn't go crazy. Remember, it's only like 5 to survive for a day.
Yeah.
So if you got a fancy drink, you spent probably 1 credit on it.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing they must have half credits and pence
Yeah.
and quarter pence and half pence and all that crazy stuff.
All right, so I'm
we're outside of the bar maybe now, and
Yeah, you guys could be outside
Okay.
the bar.
Well, 20-minute walk isn't too far. We could follow up on that if we want.
Let's keep going.
Let's do it now. I don't want to miss anything else.
I gotta wear out a good pair of shoes here. Playing old school detectives. You guys travel in the rough direction he told you towards that sector. I'm not gonna make you guys repeat the performance, but you'll stop in at the same thing. You're starting to get the feeling that the city doesn't have that much crazy variability that you would think of. That it's just like every other place. It's just a space station. That there's always a local bar. There's always a bunch of small vendors and stuff in every little section you run into. That's because it's all little communities is what it becomes. And so you run there. You can talk to the barkeep at that local place. they're not going to know his name so much. But if you describe tall blonde, you can describe him really well. And you say, yeah, he's dating some blonde, lady. They'll be able to. Oh yeah, that sounds like so and so, as an example. And believe it or not, I did not give her a name because she is, to me, just a throwaway NPC in this. So you guys can write that down. She won't be coming back unless y'all decide to make her come back for some reason. So they'll point you towards the hab unit. And if you go to the hab unit, you can talk to superintendent. He'll tell you where she's at. As long as you're not crazy threatening or doing anything stupid, you guys are smart enough to get that. So we'll screen wipe. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So you're outside her door. And I will let you guys decide how y'all want to approach this. How you're going to approach her door.
Naturally, I hung on to my box.
That's right. I need a box. Another box.
I'm, same ploy. Yeah? Alright. Slasha, corner. Kurt, look professional. Alright. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Professional. Oh,
yeah,
who is it?
Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah, female voice. Who is it?
Delivery, loading guild.
We didn't order anything. I mean, I didn't order anything.
Ooh,
You catch that.
Freudian slip. Nice.
It's a special delivery, certified delivery for one Mika Harlow.
It goes quiet. Nothing. You hear, frantic, like whispering, two people in the back, behind the door. It definitely sounds like two people are kind of talking. One of them saying, "How do they know I'm here?" But you don't know that. That's just what your intuition might tell you. Yeah. And there's no Mika Harlow here. I don't even know who that is. Same woman. You must have the wrong address.
Remember, Phil, you could always have Slasha try and pound it down or Kurt try and hack it.
Yeah, what kind of space are we in right now? Like, how can open,
Same general layout, nicer. The hall's wider. It's not like dingy bulb flickering like it would have been at Helgin's. Mika's place would have had a nice bulb, actually working lights. This place is much nicer. It's got a carpet. The whole place is basically the same, but it's got a carpet down the hallway that's not stained and ripped up and well lit. So
We can easily change that.
So you're definitely getting closer to nicer accommodations as you move towards the center of the city.
Okay.
Still working class. The door doesn't look as flimsy.
Yeah, doesn't look. Sorry.
The door doesn't look as flimsy as the other one either.
Okay. I'm just gonna look down the package and say, it's a package of Nerf steaks. It's perishable. It's possible I have the wrong address. But it's paid for already.
Classic.
If that makes any difference for you.
Whispering back and forth on the other side. That's just so funny. It's already paid for. I told you we didn't order. I told you I didn't order anything.
I gotta tell you, friend, this is a really nice package of Nerf steaks.
Well, then you take it if it's so nice. Leave me alone, or I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, right. I think we got to move on.
All right. All right.
That's so great, though.
No worries. No worries. Have a good day. I'm gonna, is there like a outside camera that they could be looking at us through?
Not one that you notice, no.
All right. So
and not one
I'm gonna,
that Kurt notices either. So
yeah. I was gonna, point to the door panel to Kurt.
I'm on it.
This one's hard. I think the other one's hard as well. So
I'm totally cheering him on silently,
Go,
very
go, go,
quietly,
quiet, yeah.
but he
The
feels
shoulder
like he has my
shoulder
full
massage.
support.
You got this.
Phil,
I'm also going to give Slashik a head
tilt.
tilt. Yeah.
All right, I'll walk over. I'm not gonna massage Kurt though.
Okay.
I don't want to accidentally kill him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. He never takes those knuckles off.
Yeah.
So on a hard computer roll, which I assume you want me to do computer.
Yes. Yep.
I got 2 success and 1 advantage.
Ah,
Nice.
the door pops open as if you have the key to it. Shoo. Quietly, no fuss, no muss, just.
You should have accepted the nerf meat, friend.
Throw the box in their face.
Delivery.
Delivery. When the door opens, you see a woman, the blonde, nameless, conveniently. She turns like shocked that the door just opened, and she screams, "Ah!" and starts running away. This is actually a multiple room apartment. Think of it as one nice living room, an actual separated kitchen with a little dining nook, and like one bedroom and a bathroom. So
All right, I'm gonna dig out my blaster and wait for Slashik to go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna like run directly in, kind of like past her, because I'm thinking that our friend is in there, and
Right.
I'm gonna kind of like almost like not like roughly, but kind of like push her to the side and get past her to try and figure out where he is, and
Okay.
let me know if I can see him in the rooms.
When you run through the living room, he's not there. And then there's a bedroom behind it. So when you cut, like she's heading towards the bedroom.
Right.
So if you push her out of the way and go through the door first,
Yes.
he's in there in the bedroom. And when he heard her scream, you get there so fast that this all kind of happens really the same time. He was in the bed, like not laying in it, but kind of like sitting on the bed, sort of deal. He's trying to dive behind it, to the opposite side away from the doorway. So between the wall and the bed, he's trying to duck behind that. So that's about where you catch him.
All right. I'm just
running,
gonna like
hiding, cowering in the corner as much as he can.
I'm just gonna like kind of trot over to him and kind of pick him up
Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
by his shirt and bring him outside of the bedroom to hostel it.
Yeah, he's doing the classic. Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! What is everybody else doing?
I'm backing up Slashik.
Okay, Kurt.
I'm coming inside and the door is closing behind us.
Okay, that's what I was checking to see if the door was going to get shut by anybody. Okay.
So I bring him into the living room so you guys can look at him and talk to him.
So the lady is screaming, like not like blood curdling. It's nowhere close to what Keela was doing, but she's definitely doing the no, don't kill us, don't kill us. They're both kind of doing this too. But when you pick him up, he's not making as much noise so much as just whimpering as you're carrying him from one room to the next.
So I'll go over to the lady and basically tell her to shut up with a kind of pointed gesture with my blaster.
She shuts up. She's looking at you terrified, but she does stop yelling.
In the living room, is there like couches or chairs or anything?
Yeah, there's a couch and a couple cushy chairs.
Why don't we put him in the couch and gesture her just to sit on the couch together? I'll stand behind them. Phil can sit across from them, kind of looking at him, and Kurt can do whatever. Kurt can rummage through the house.
That's
He's on rummage duty.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, not when there's interrogation.
That's right. Okay. He's sitting there. He is got his head in his hands. He's whimpering, sobbing, mumbling, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die."
Do you want to die?
No, I don't want to die. I never wanted to do this in the first place.
Oh, really? You're just a victim in all this.
Yes, I'm just a victim.
You better start talking.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything. Just don't kill me. Do you work? You obviously killed Helgin, so I just figured I was next. That's why I'm running.
What?
I see.
I mean, I'll keep my mouth shut.
He's sitting there sobbing.
When did you start working with the Imperials?
It's been I don't know, about a year and a half. I didn't really keep that close a track of it. I mean, it's not really the Imperials, just one Imperial.
When did you start working with Kretzner?
The year and a half.
All right. Yes, you already answered it. What
Right, yeah.
What exactly have you been doing for him?
I'm kind of like the money guy. I handle all the transactions. Make sure people get paid and that the money gets to Kretzner, the Major. Let's just make sure the Major gets his money.
You said that Kretzner was the only Imperial.
He's the only one I dealt with. I mean, if there were others, I don't know about them. No one's supposed to know how any of this stuff's connected. That's the point.
What is the money for?
What the money's just for money. Why else do you need it?
No, yeah. Tell me what people have been paying for.
I mean, I thought you guys knew. Isn't that what you're here for? You guys know all this. Why are y'all asking me these questions?
I know. Listen, I want to know what you know, not what I know. Understand?
Who are you people?
I'm going. Slashik's gonna get.
I'm the one with a tame 7-foot lizard. You're the one answering my questions.
I'm gonna give him a quick slap to the back of the head with my claw, just a little pat, just to remind him who's in charge.
But he's confused. He's very confused now. He's like, but y'all must not be working for Kretzner then if y'all don't know all this stuff. Are y'all like...
We're not working for Kretzner, no.
Oh. He stops for a second to think. Well, basically it was, slave running. That's what all this is about, right? I mean, that's, it was all about, kidnapping people and selling them, and at least that's all I ever knew it was about. Like I said, we weren't supposed to know. I knew too much anyway.
What organizations was Kretzner working with?
I don't know what he was. Yeah, Kretzner was working. The Major was working for himself, as far as I know. I just handled the money. I dealt with cataloging the money, tracking the money, and making sure he got his cut, and making sure everybody else got paid. That's what I did.
Where were the payments coming from?
The payments were coming up through the from the people who sold the slaves. I mean, that's what I saw.
Who were they selling the slaves to?
I don't know. I don't know. But
you don't know where the money came from?
The money came from Helgin's. So I got my money that got separated to go to Kretzner's from Helgin's. All right? And as far as I know, Helgin's got it from the people doing the slaving. That's all my job was to maintain the records of the transactions between the Major, who no one else knew except for me, and Helgin's. And I kept track of made sure that all the other transactions got tracked and that no one took too big of a piece so that the Major got his cut. That was all I was there for. I got my cut too, but everything's a separate piece. No one's supposed to know. I have no idea where they got slaves from. I have no idea where the slaves went. I don't know how they got moved around or kidnapped. I don't know any of that stuff. All I know was the money. I just followed the money. So
I see. Now listen carefully. I happen to have a data tape with recording showing you shooting Helgin.
that's
Sound
not
familiar?
possible.
It
No,
did seem a
of
little
course
convenient.
No, of course it's
Now-
not possible. No way I did that.
That's great for you. However, I still have that tape. Now, way I see it, two things can happen with that recording. The first one is that it gets turned over to the authorities, and the authorities come after you. The second is that doesn't happen. If I'm feeling particularly charitable towards you, maybe we have option 2. But between you and me, and I'm going to lean in and give him a little toothy smile, I don't like people who work with slavers. So if I were you, I would give me a really good reason not to turn that recording over. Understand?
What do you want to know? I'll give you everything I know.
Can I interject and just ask him kind of bluntly, why do you believe that Kretzner wanted to silence you?
He was getting rid of everybody. I mean, look at it. Look at ever since that great house meeting, like just people have been dying. You know, there was
People associated with Kretzner?
right anybody I was even vaguely aware of being connected to him. You know, they're all dying. You know, Helgin's dead. You know, and I assumed I was next. That's why I ran. You know, I by there the other day to get the normal shipment, and he was dead. So I ran. I just ran, and I knew that I had to be next. And I thought that's what you guys were here for, was to kill me. I thought he had finally found me. So I don't know anything about any doctored tape to make it look like I killed him. I don't even know why he would do that, unless he just wanted to discredit me if I ever did come forward. If maybe because I did run and he couldn't find me, he needed a way to discredit me if I ever did try and come forward.
Where is Kretzner?
I guess he's back wherever the Imperials go. He's probably back at their headquarters. I don't know what they back at an ISD. Is that what they would do? They'd be encamped on a Star Destroyer somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So
I
where
would
are
guess
your
I would guess he's back there. Yeah.
Where are your records? Where are the records that you were maintaining?
They were in a safe back in my apartment, but I haven't been back there since I found
Where?
Helgen's body.
Where was your safe?
It was in the wall. He describes
Exactly what
where
it
he
is.
found
Okay,
Yeah.
I was trying to catch him in like
Because-
a lie or something.
No. He described it exactly as it is. He's like it was
Why?
in a wall. You had to go through
Why
a
did
switch underneath the thing to get it.
Did you take all your tapes with you when you left?
No,
Why did you leave them behind?
I didn't even think to grab them. I was in such a big hurry. I just ran in and grabbed all of my not all of them. He grabbed a few shirts, a few pairs of pants, that sort of stuff, and ran. I never even thought to get them. It didn't matter to me. What was I going to do with them?
So,
Okay.
so is there a computer terminal there? Because what I want to do is
In their house.
Yeah, in their apartment.
I expect everybody's got some kind of small terminal in there.
So I
But-
want to move him over to the computer, throw one of these disks in, have him boot it up,
right.
and if there's some kind of encoding or something,
Yeah.
he's doing the password, and we're gonna look at the raw data.
Yeah. He's like, it won't work. He goes, it just won't work. You can't do it from this terminal. You have to have specific, like wiring and coding. He goes into some technical jargon. You'd understand it, Kurt. I just can't do it out of character. Because it has to be built a certain way to be able to read these discs and break them down so that you can understand them. And even if you could understand it, you can't understand it. Like, it's written in a code. It's all code. So, if you had a terminal that could read this and not see the movie that's in front of it, then the terminal's going to bring up, and he describes what you guys found when you put one in there at the hard way. He goes, it's going to bring up a sheet. It's going to bring up page after page of what just looks like numbers. He goes, nobody can read that. Unless they can read it.
Can you read it?
Yes, you have to be taught how to. You have to learn this. It's a code break, right? Like you have to learn how to do it in your head as you go through. We never made a program to break it into real text. So think of it as like a criminal shorthand for tracking of stuff. So I'm describing this out of character, but imagine person, Phil is number X13. That's Phil's number, right? And I gave Phil $20. Well, it wouldn't be written as $20. It would be written as some weird combination of numbers or letters that tells me how much it is. And that's how the transactions go. He goes, that's how this works. He goes, so if you have a terminal that I can read these on, then I can tell you what it is. He goes, but short of that, we have to build a terminal. We'd have to build one, or somebody better than me would have to be able to crack the actual hidden code, like be able to rip it apart from the movie itself. The terminals did all of that, hid it into the movies. So what we did was Helgin's was how they moved the money around. You bought movies and you sold movies. And if you ever got caught with these, they were movies. No one would know that they weren't just movies. So the only thing that would look weird is, why was Helgin selling so many crappy old movies? Like, why were so many people buying and selling crappy old movies at Helgin's? It would be weird. And it sounds weird, but that's the point. No one would expect it. All right. And so the only people who could read these things were people with these specific terminals. And all of those people are dying, as far as I know. Helgin's dead. They came in after, or at least I assume they came after me. I don't know if they did or not, but I expected that was the next step. And my guess is they went after the other people too. If Helgin's dead, they probably went after whoever brought him the discs to sell them. What he's describing, essentially, they're using Helgins to launder this stuff. To move, to pass the money through, and turn it from one cache to another. So, but he's at this upper end. He's the one that made sure none of the money was disappearing, and that's what he did. He took the money from Helgins, made it into credits, and then delivered said credits to Kretzner. That was his next contact was Kretzner. So he's the closest one you've got to him.
So from what Kurt's going to do is he's going to tell Slashik to just watch the two on the sofa, and I'm going to motion Oskolet to come into the kitchen or go a little bit further away from the two. I'm going to say to Oskolet, hey, I think we've got one of those terminals in the basement, because when we tried to slice the data, we were able to see the code. So my guess is if we were to take Mika back to the bar, he can start decoding the data for us.
Yes, that might be worth our while. The thing is, we have to bring him there.
Can I
might be tricky.
Can I can I hear anything they're saying, or is this too far away?
Yeah, my intent was so that Mika would not hear this conversation.
Yeah.
If it's loud enough for
it doesn't it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because I actually kind of wanted to have a conversation very similar with you guys about this, but I'll just wait until I get an opportunity. Hang on, is there any room or windows here that they could possibly escape out of, other than the front door?
Other than the front door, no.
Is there any comm links or any way that they could communicate with the outside world if I just leave them for a minute with?
You'd have to find their comm links. Now the living room is closer to the door than the bedroom or kitchen. So the front door opens straight into the to the living room. Now, and this is funny. I'll draw you a map if y'all want it. I'm actually using my old crappy apartment here in Charlotte as the design for this. So the front door goes, and you're in the living room. Like there's no wall, no ceremony. You're just door opens. Not even like a little square of like tile. Just
you're in the living room.
You are in the living room.
Okay.
So if they're sitting on the couch, they're like 4 feet from the door.
I understand.
Yeah. So you have to either keep a really close watch on them or move them to another room.
All right. Well, I'll just wait for them to come back, and then I'll ask if I could, have a word with one of the two of them.
Yeah.
So the other one can keep a watch on them.
Anyway, I think that we have to get the information out of him, and he's our source for connecting the Imperials to this operation.
Yeah, and he's
So we need
probably going to be able to get the data that's going to really put the finger on Kretzner, which is what I've got to have.
All right, but he's obviously being targeted, and Hardways might still be being monitored as a possible location, where the locations associated with the slave operations. So we should be careful. We might want to conceal his identity somehow and bring him there. I don't know how.
Let's dress him like another lady. We got plenty of ladies'
boy.
club here.
Oh, jeez and crow. Are y'all cops? He yells from the or not doesn't have to yell. He just. Says
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, "You're with me now. You can speak to me." No, we're not cops.
Are y'all like a rival gang or something?
Don't worry about what we are right now. Just worry about yourself. We'll be with you shortly.
Well, I am worried about myself. That's why I want to know who you are.
Listen, friend, I'm not the talking type. Wait for the talking one to come back, and he can explain things to you.
Oscalet, we're actually pretty good at moving things around in crates. I don't suppose there's any empty crates laying around.
There is a head-sized box, I know, that he bought with him.
Yeah.
You might need the rest of them besides the
yeah.
head to break the code.
All right.
Oscalet, Kurt, can I have a word? Can one of you stand watch for a moment?
I'll go watch. I'll go watch him.
Oscalet, may I have a word? Let's go back to where you and Kurt were hiding.
All right. What's up?
Kurt, sorry, Oscalet. I don't know what you two were just talking about, but
Could be anything.
I really think that we should bring this guy back to the bar.
Sounds so funny when I say it after listening to your conversation.
Listen.
You think he could be thirsty?
No. My thought is this. I don't know about
Sleepy?
I don't know how his technical prowess is or anything like that. If you have motives with him, but consider this from my perspective. If we bring him back to the bar, he is my new bait. Obviously, the Twillick, she can't be the bait, but we know that Kretzner wants this guy dead. This could be a lucky break for me to get a jump on whoever they send to kill him. Hopefully, that bounty hunter. Now, I know that we may not want this at first. But if we can get him to the bar covertly, we could utilize him. He could be a source of information for us, and we could essentially leak his identity somehow, maybe even through the Security Council via Lieutenant Clayson. And when and if we want to do that, we could set a trap. We have the power in our hands, but the only trick is we got to get him back to our bar without anyone knowing. What do you think?
It's a reasonable plan. We were thinking of bringing him back to the bar already.
Oh, fantastic.
So we can connect the Imperials to the slaving operation.
Wait, there's a slaving operation going on? There's more than just my vendetta against this bounty hunter? What?
Did we ever talk about this?
He's all consuming now.
I know. I'm
trying
to be silly with my with my single track mind. Anyway,
all right. I think that's a good idea. Let's how can we go about? Wait, Oscalet. He knows that we're not with Kretzner. He's obviously fearing for his life. Could we offer protection? Could we go about this in a different way? Not like you're our prisoner, but listen, we can get you to a safe place. This is obviously not a safe place if we could find you. But if you come with us, we could, something like that. What do you think?
It's not a bad angle. All right. Let's go with that.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna head back into the living room.
And let's take a very less intimidating presence now. Like maybe I'll sit, like not or stand farther away, kind of like, uncross my arms and
Very, relaxed. Very,
yeah, just
cash.
relax a little bit. Like we've
Cash.
determined that they're not a threat and blah blah blah.
Listen,
Friend.
listen, friend.
Friend.
I think we can come to an understanding.
Okay.
You worked with the slavers, but
It was against my will.
Not- okay. What I want to do here is get to the very bottom of the slaving operation. The people who are making the decisions, who initiated this entire thing. And you're going to help me do that. And in exchange, we can offer you a degree of protection. We have a location that is relatively protected, especially compared to this place. If we found you, I imagine your other enemies, your actual enemies, can also.
Yeah, you're probably right. And his girlfriend's, I knew we should have left. I knew we should have moved. Yeah, she's mouthing off, saying that she knew better than to stay.
Here's my deal. You come with us. You help us make the connection between the slaving operation and this Major Kretzner. And I give you the recording, the fake recording of you shooting Helgin. And we eventually part ways. In the
Okay.
meantime, we have a relatively safe space where we can conceal you and you can do your work.
Oh.
Sell him on the fact that we got a kitchen and like beds and everything. Like, it's not just like a little shitty lair. Okay, sell it.
It's not a lair anymore. But I told you I can't break this stuff down without like the right terminal.
So I'm going to smile.
Or I'm going to have somebody help me build, and they're not cheap.
We'll build you a terminal.
But-
Just come with us.
How are you going to build a terminal? Like, you guys
My
don't
friend
know
here
how
is
it
a
works.
very talented technician. Don't worry about the terminal.
Okay. So, how long do you need me to help you with this stuff? How do I know that I can be safe? Are you guys cops? Yes, again.
We have certain connections with the enforcement authorities.
So you're just another gang.
No.
No, damn it, no.
That's not your concern right now, is it?
All right, hold on. Let's make you roll something.
Okay.
Just because I feel like you need to.
Come with
what's
me
that?
now,
Yeah,
and I won't hurt you.
coercion?
Yeah,
I can
do
never
the
remember
coercion,
the coercion. Yeah.
and I'm going to go ahead and intimidate him. My intimidation ability.
Go for it.
All right, so what's the...
It would be average, I think, for him.
Okay,
You should be
so-
able to beat it, but you never know.
Okay, so intimidation lowers the difficulty of a coercion roll by 1 per rank, and I have just 1 rank.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
human,
take a
so you'd
strength.
have 2 willpower,
Okay,
which would
Um,
normally give you 2 purple dice from him.
okay, so it's just going to be 1 purple die, and my coercion is pretty good. Okay. 1 sec here. Okay. Good thing I downgraded that. Uh, it's gonna succeed on 2 successes.
Okay. Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it. Just promise me, that let's call it Darlene is not going to be hurt. Darlene. Just promise me that she'll be left out of this.
I I can offer you my protection. I promise you that while I'm still standing, you won't come to harm.
Darlene? You're gonna protect Darlene?
I was talking to both of them. I wasn't just talking to her. I was just trying to show them that yes, the 7-foot lizard.
I think the yes. I think the safest thing for Darlene would be to take a break from you until all this blows over. They don't want her. She should be fine.
She kind of the same ideas hitting her at the same time. Like, I'm not sure this relationship is working out. So she agrees. She's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. So he will go with you. She will not. She will stay at her little humble abode. But he will go with you if you guys. I'll let y'all figure out how you want to get him back. And then based on that, I'll decide how ruthless I'll be about, about seeing it happen.
I'm wondering if it would be just easy enough to, like, almost like Kurt said, not dress him up in, well, maybe dress him up in girls' clothes. I don't know. But just like, if he's like walking with the 3 of us and he's kind of like in the center of our group and, he's kind of got like a jacket or like a, trench coat with a hat and glasses, we might be able to get him
the
without,
classic, turn the collar up more.
Yeah. I mean, do you really think? Obviously, he's wanted, but
well, here's the thing. Clayson said that he wasn't going to put a broadcast out for this guy until you guys came back. So there's no like system-wide or
I don't mean wanted
station-wide,
by the guild. I mean wanted by Kretzner. So
right. So the only thing you're aware of is that he's probably wanted by whoever might be hunting down the Kretzner and stuff.
And that's why Slashik is almost more cavalier about, well, let's just walk him there, because I almost kind of want someone to see. But at the same time, I really like the idea of having that control over, maybe we leak the information that he's here at the bar when we are ready, and then we can spring our own trap, kind of a thing. So if you guys think of a better idea than just kind of trench coat walking them back, I'm all for it. I'll follow your lead.
Mika, how do you like dumpsters?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. So
well,
they like dumpsters. I hope you don't mind them at all.
Hold on. Before we jump into this plan, how far away are we from? Aren't we like a couple sectors over or something?
Yeah, y'all are a ways away from.
Okay, so before we, I
Yeah.
think it would be a way more suspicious to drag a dumpster.
Right, yeah.
And by we, I mean me, because I know I'm the asshole that's going to be pushing this thing for 2 sectors worth.
Yeah, you're quite a ways. Let's call it like an hour by foot away, because remember, you're probably 30 minutes away from Helgin's, and Helgin's was not really right next to Hardways.
Right,
so call it an hour if you take most direct.
Let's go to the lair first, old lair, then which is relatively close to Hardways.
Sure, why not?
Sure, like 30 minutes. I would say half the trip, maybe.
Yeah, call it half the trip.
Halfway.
It would split the distance, let's say.
Then we can transfer him into something more discreet and make the rest of the trip.
Well, we do have sleeping bags at the lair. We could put him in a sleeping bag and just walk him like
nobody's carrying a body. Nobody's carrying a body.
Something less body shaped.
Just a roll of carpet. Nothing big. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to help us continue improving and expanding our channel's content.